Be very quiet. It's not even 7 a.m. yet. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today is interesting because we're one of those people that started making all kinds of ruckus around 6:30 in the morning because we're leaving for Indiana. And you're like, why would you leave the comforts of the rolling hills of Kentucky? Well, because we got some stuff to do. We need to head north. And believe it or not, Carrie, there is zero repair people with availability to work on the black tank here. And one, I don't blame them because I probably wouldn't want to work on the black tank either, but there is nothing for availability. Everybody's booked 2-3 months out, and I want to take care of this. So a couple of points to that is, one, there seems to be a high demand for RV repair techs, especially during the busy season. We understand that. The other problem I have is, so there's nobody local that can take care of this. Even if it's a warranty claim, I wouldn't even bother at this point, because even the dealers that we spoke to that handle Redesigned warranty claims are like 3 and 4 months out. So again, the warranty, even if it is a warranted item, is useless if you're full-timers like us, because, well, who can wait that long? I know I can't. So fortunately, where we're going, Carrie was able to get a hold of a RV dealer right across the street from Indian Lakes Thousand Trails in Indiana, who had availability, who can get us in about a week from now, which actually worked out pretty well because I'm off for a few days. So we're gonna let them take care of that. And the beautiful part is, if it needs parts or something beyond something that they can fix immediately, we're back there in like 4 weeks is our way back to Texas. But more importantly, Carrie, I want to give you kudos. So one of the things about this full-time life is that Carrie and I really rely on one another. And if one of us is down, it can really double the work for both of us. Not only when you contracted the big old C word that we're not allowed to use because, you know, whatever. It really was a test for us, have somebody down, and how you continue to pack up and move on, right? And while I'm able to handle 99.9% of it, I don't know what she knows, and a lot of the time she doesn't know what I know when it comes to what's not, because we both have roles to play here, right? I handle the outside, Carrie handles the inside. I don't know anything about the inside. Carrie doesn't know much about the outside, but we've been changing that because Carrie is a very capable person, and I know it kills you to sit on the sidelines sometimes and go, what the hell is he doing and why is he sweating so much? So one of the things that we started doing was getting Carrie involved in driving. We're starting to work with that because it's a lot bigger truck than what we're accustomed to having. I've dealt with big trucks on and off all my life. You not so much?
No.
So we're working with that, and plus if my back goes out or something along that lines, we're covered. But that brings me to these new levelers that we picked up, and boy, talk about a game changer. Now in the past 3 or 4 years of RVing, I've only used those little plastic blocks that, you know, you kind of build your own ramp. I'm gonna have Carrie take the camera here, and we picked up these. Now these here, there's a few brands that make these, but these are levelers. You just drive up on them, it rocks to where it's level, you jam that underneath it, and you have it pretty comfortable. We bought these probably about, oh geez, maybe about 4 months ago. We bought these when we were in Tybee Island just in case we ever needed them, and we started using them exclusively once we hit Tennessee. We took them out of the package because, hey, they're just sitting here. There's a whole bunch of brands that make these. These here were actually a decent option ratings. I'll leave a link. They're in our Amazon storefront. Anything that we buy is in there. But boy, these are a game changer. And now when we go to leave, Carrie just simply pulls the truck forward a little bit, takes the pressure so I can pull this part out, and then she backs off, and then that's it. But boy, I'm very proud of you, Carrie, as you picked this up in like no time flat. This is one of those things I would have probably drove over them, would have had to call people with a tow truck to come get me.
But I have drove over them. I've driven over them.
We weren't going to talk about that. So stick around.
Just
we're going to take you out of Kentucky. We're going to take you into Indiana, Indian Lakes. I'm a little bit nervous about, so we want to be one of the first ones there because we actually need the sewer hookup so we can dump daily until we get this situated. But again, highly recommend these things. So with that, we'll jump in the old truck because we're ready to roll.
We're ready to go.
Catch you on the other side of a delicious. Good Friday morning to you. So we are here in Indian Lakes, which is in Indiana, and I gotta say, other than the fact that, as you can see, after a few days we're hooked back up, or in the process of hooking back up, because we have an appointment to have the black tank either inspected, repaired, fixed, or diagnosed, one or the other. There's what so far has been an awesome dealer to work with across the street, Lee's Country RV. Fantastic reviews. They're able to get us in this morning so that we can get some kind of diagnosis here and see what's going on with the black tank. So right now, Carrie and I have been able to solve the issue by dumping the black tank daily. That's fine, but as we start to venture north and then south and whatever, there's some of those places that we're not going to be able to have full hookups. So we want to make sure we're okay and we're covered. Again, I still think it might be something to do with back flushing and not paying attention on my end, but we'll see. But overall, Indian Lakes, this is one that I'm definitely going to have to do a review from, because wow, this is a nice place and it is huge. For those of you that travel within 1,000 trails, you know that TTO is big. This is easily twice the size of TTO, at least from our experience. And it's also very unique because it has a KOA inside the 1,000 trails. Really weird. But yeah, so today's big deal is going to be getting this over. We have a 9 a.m. appointment. We're going to leave it for the day. Carrie and I are going to go take off and take in some sights. I don't know how much of that we're going to film because we're probably going to be anxious to find out what the damage is going to cost me here. But yeah, that's that. So that's, again, you know, what we talk about all the time, which is real RV life. So we did talk to the people at the check-in and said, hey, what do we do so that nobody takes our site? And they said, oh, just leave your table out here, and at the other end, take your chairs and put them on the other end, and that should solve it. And yeah, for our time here, the past few days have been kind of uneventful. We didn't really film anything. Carrie and I have just been walking. This place is so massive. We've been able to get 8 miles a day. Last night we did 10.5 miles. That's just insane. But very nice place, very quiet, and definitely worth doing a review for here. But we'll check back within a few hours to let you know what the diagnosis is and if it's repaired or repairable, and we'll take it from there.
Right.
Want to add anything?
No.
I tried, folks.
Fingers crossed.
Ooh, that too.
Don't look at me like that.
So, if you ever have had a chance to check out our video that says why RV life sucks, well, we can school you pretty quick right here. In that video, we've talked about before about just not having a familiarity with vendors and suppliers and service repair people and whatever, and you take in point what we have here, which is at Lee's Country RV. Carrie did her research, as did I, and here I have you. And we did our research and we looked all up the reviews, and we got people who have talked to people who have basically dealt with these guys, and everything was, you know, hunky-dory. Sorry about the sun, but we're hooking up. So our truck is back hooked up to Humphrey, and they've had our rig from open this morning until close, which is now 5 o'clock, so for 8 hours. And as it was approaching closing, we decided we're going to call because kind of weird, we haven't heard anything. And we were put in touch with the owner, who says, oh no, we're not going to look at that until tomorrow morning. Now, when Carrie set this all up, we were very adamant that this is our full-time home. As you can see here, everything we own belongs right inside here. And we're pretty adamant about it. And well, we can't leave it for days on end. So it was something where if they could diagnose today, and then we're scheduled to come back here in about a month on our way back down to Texas and stuff. So if they needed to order parts, we could kind of do that, right? Well, after having it all day, they never touched it. So then the owner says to us, hey, the person who, I can tell you, hold on, I apologize, I'm a little rambly here. So he says, hey, in my experience of 20 some odd years, if you have a leak that's coming out at half a tank, you either blew a hole in the tank or you knocked the hose off the back flush part to the top of the tank. And there's nothing we could have done here. It would have taken easily a month, because if it needed parts, it would have had to go through Redesigned and whatnot. Now, here's where I get kind of a little pissy about it, was that, well, after, hearing that, why wasn't I told that ahead of time? Because that would have saved us a whole lot of hassle. I would have just gone to a Redesigned dealer. But nonetheless, what we're going to do is continue nursing this along, and we're going to just dump the tanks daily like we have been doing. I think I'm going to pick up a portable tank for places that we don't have a full hookup, or don't have a sewer site. So I want to make sure I have something along that lines. And then once we get down to Texas, where there's a lot more dealers and a lot more availability, I think what we're going to do is just call ahead of time. And regardless of what needs to be done, we're just going to order a new tank and have that waiting for us.
Yeah.
So that way there they can just put it in. Now, I was really hoping I was going to come out here and be like, hey, guess what? Life is great on the road. You can find a good quality country RV dealer, but really it comes down to the same thing that we've discussed over and over again. It comes down to the ability of the employees. And for that reason, I can't recommend this place, because their employees should have known better.
It's just like going through the drive-through.
Yeah, it's kind of like Joe Pesci said about the drive-through and getting that tuna sandwich at Subway. I'll let you watch Lethal Weapon and figure that one out. But for now, we get to go back. We get to unhook Humphrey back at our site, hopefully take a shower, because oh my God, do I smell. And yeah, so well, let's get it in. Let's call it out, because that sun's right there. I can't stop it. But let's call it out. Lee's Country RV here in Batesville, Indiana. That's a no-go. But we'll catch you in the next one.